What's harder, Airborne School or Air Assault School, and what's the difference? Having both the Airborne and the Air Assault badges, I get asked all of the time which school was harder. The answer is simple: neither of them. These schools are not designed to make you suffer. They are professional schools designed to teach you important military skills. Although these schools have standards, with enough training and preparation, every soldier should be able to graduate and earn the badge. Let's look at these two schools in greater detail using 4 criteria: duration and phases, physical training, and performance measures. Let's start with duration and phases. Airborne School is 3 weeks long and broken into 3 phases: Ground Week, Tower Week, and Jump Week. All 3 phases are located at Fort Benning, Georgia, home of the infantry. Your evenings and your weekends are free during Airborne School. During Ground Week, you learn how to do parachute landing falls, or PLFs. This is where you practice landing on the balls of your feet and then rolling through the side of your calf, thigh, buttocks, and onto your so-called push-up muscle. It might take you only a few hours to perfect the PLF, but you get to practice them 8 hours a day for 5 days straight. The instructors use this medieval torture device known as a swing landing trainer to help you practice your PLFs. If you are a motivated and professional soldier, you jump off this platform, swing in your parachute harness, and the Sergeant Airborne drops you when you are a foot off the ground. If you're a punk or an arrogant officer, the Sergeant Airborne will drop you while you're swinging 4 feet off the ground. During this week, you also learn how to wear your parachute and how to connect your weapon and your rucksack, also known as combat equipment, to your parachute. During Tower Week, you practice the procedures you use inside an aircraft prior to jumping out. You also practice your exit procedures, or jumps, using the 34-foot tower, pictured here. First, you stand in the door. Next, you jump out. Then you slide down the wires. This is fun and good training. If the wind is right, they will put you in a parachute, hoist you 250 feet in the air, and let you drift down to earth and practice your PLFs. During Jump Week, you have to jump out of an airplane 5 times. After morning PT, you run to the airfield and put on your parachute. This is a picture of a jump master conducting a Jump Master Parachute Inspection, or a JMPI. After the JMPI, you load the aircraft. This is what a fully loaded aircraft looks like. Then you jump out. If you do this successfully 5 times, then you will become Airborne qualified. Let's move on to Air Assault School. Air Assault School is 11 days long. A 0 day followed by 10 days of training broken into 3 phases: Combat Assault Phase, Sling Load Phase, and Rappel Phase. During Air Assault School, you also have your evenings and weekends free. Air Assault School is at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, home of the 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault. Air Assaulters like to say that Air Assault School is the toughest 10 days in the military, but this is not true. I dare say that the easiest day at Ranger School was significantly worse than the hardest day at Air Assault School. Day 0 is an obstacle course followed by a 2-mile run. Phase 1 and Day 1 begin with a 6-mile road march followed by a no-tolerance gear layout. You then spend the next 3 days learning aircraft safety and orientation. Soldiers are given a written test and a hands-on test. Phase 2 is the sling load phase, where students learn how to tether equipment and cargo bags to the underbelly of a helicopter. I have to say that it's kind of fun hooking stuff under a helicopter. It's loud, windy, totally chaotic. If you think this looks fun, try doing it at night. Trainees must pass a written test and a hands-on test. The 3rd phase is called rappelling phase. Soldiers learn basic ground and helicopter rappelling procedures with and without equipment. First you learn rappelling from a tower, then you finish with a helicopter. Graduation day includes a 12-mile ruck march and a gear layout. Let's move on to physical training. At Airborne School, you will take an Army Physical Fitness Test, or APFT. You will do conventional physical training, or PT, 5 days a week for all 3 weeks. You will also do the Airborne Shuffle, which is a very slow run in between all training events. Before entering the chow hall for breakfast and lunch, Men have to do 5 pull-ups, and women do 5 modified pull-ups from the low bar. During jump week, you run from the barracks to the airfield, which is a couple miles away. All in all, the PT standards are average, but the airborne shuffle will be very discouraging to those of you who are fast runners. I went through Airborne School when I was 18 years old. I was a skinny little guy weighing in at 150 pounds. I felt terrible during Airborne School, but toughed it out. Finally, during jump week, I went to the doctor's office. The doctor said that I had the worst case of bronchitis she had ever seen in her career. She asked me if I wanted a profile for a few weeks and told me that I could recycle into the next course. I told her no thanks, and I finished jump school while taking antibiotics. I tell you this story to let you know that a 150-pound new guy with severe bronchitis made it through Airborne School without a problem. So don't worry about how hard it is, just bring a good attitude and prepare to do a lot of PLFs. During 0 day at Air Assault School, you will do an obstacle course followed by a 2-mile run. The 2-mile run must be done in 20 minutes. Day 1 starts out with a 6-mile ruck march, which must be done in 90 minutes. The rucksack weighs plus or minus 35 pounds. At Air Assault School, you will do physical training every day, but PT at Air Assault School is much harder than at Airborne School. After calisthenics, you break up into ability groups for your daily run. Average soldiers do their morning runs at a 9-minute mile pace. Motivated soldiers do their formation runs at an 8-minute mile pace, and the studs run their formation run at a 7-minute mile pace. The graduation day ruck march is 12 miles long, and the time requirement is 3 hours. Let's finish off with performance measures. The performance measures for Airborne School are more about endurance and less about high standards. In order to graduate from Airborne School, you need to master your PLFs from the ground, from the swing landing trainer, from the tower, etc. You need to demonstrate proper exit procedures. You need to know how to put on your parachute and combat equipment, although the jump masters will always conduct an inspection prior to any jump. And of course, you need to complete 5 jumps. Although I enjoyed my time at Fort Benning, I will say that Airborne School felt like 3 days of quality training put into 3 weeks of monotonous repetition. At Air Assault School, you need to complete the obstacle course and 2-mile run, do a 6-mile ruck in 90 minutes. You will have ability group PT every day. You must pass written and hands-on tests for each phase. You must prepare, rig, and inspect numerous pieces of Army equipment for helicopter transport. You will have graded rappels from walls and helicopters. And finally, you must complete the 12-mile road march in 3 hours. Okay, so there you have it, a summary of the differences between Airborne School and Air Assault School. Both schools were purposeful, professional, and a fun challenge, just challenging in different ways. Jumping out of an aircraft or hooking equipment to the underbelly of a helicopter are serious business. But if you do these tasks properly and by the book, your chances for success are high and the risk of getting injured or killed is very low. For some of you, these schools will be fun and easy. For others, they will be the biggest challenges of your career. While my father was still living, he used to introduce me to all of his friends by saying, and of course you remember my son, the paratrooper. Out of all of my military accomplishments and all of my promotions and all my deployments, I always thought it was fun that my father always introduced me as his son, the paratrooper. Although being a paratrooper was not the culmination of my training and military career, for my father, it was the most remarkable thing I ever did. Thanks for learning. Please subscribe if you want to learn more, and don't forget to forward this video to a friend who also needs to know this. Airborne, Air Assault. For those of you watching this video until the very end, if you're looking for a fitness program to prepare you for Airborne School or Air Assault School, I recommend Special Operations Fitness. Whether you're an experienced athlete looking for a challenge or an absolute beginner who can't yet do 10 push-ups, everyone and anyone can benefit from Special Operations Fitness. Every week you're given 4 workouts. Workouts 1 and 3 are circuit-based boot camp style workouts. Experts can do 10 circuits and beginners can do 5 circuits. everyone is challenged and everyone gets stronger. Workout 2 is a self-defense kickboxing workout designed to build fundamentals, strength, and confidence. The weekend workout is either a long hike or a cross-training variation. Week 6 and 10 of the Special Operations Fitness Program prescribe 1,000 push-ups or 200 push-ups every day for 5 days. Experts can do them in 5 sets of 40 push-ups, while beginners can do 20 sets of 10. We also have a diagnostic test in the beginning and a fitness test at the end of the program, so you can see for yourself your amazing 12-week transformation. Buy the paperback on Amazon or download the ebook immediately from our website. Hyperlinks are below in the description.